Hello everyone, my name is Rosemary Afuakwe and this is my moment of truth. I auditioned at Abuja for Ultimate Love and I was selected. Now, coming to Lagos during the audition was stressful. It took 2 weeks, but then in the end, I wasn't even optimistic. I didn't think I was going to be chosen because of the categories of people I saw at the audition. But luckily enough, I was selected. I was torn apart with decisions that I needed to take. I met so many people to speak to them, to know what to do. But one thing that formed my decision was that I was at peace with going into the house to find love. The first week was rough because I was real and I am real. I don't need to fake or pretend to be who I'm not just to please anybody. I know that some people look at me as a proud, obnoxious woman. And if it offends anyone, I'm sorry. If I sound rude, I'm sorry. But this is who I am. Being blunt, having knowing and understanding of your self-worth doesn't make you a rude, obnoxious lady. Now, yes, I was drawn to catch you. But I was wondering why, he wasn't coming forth with himself. Did he need someone to threaten, to take a decision, a stand? And when he told me that he was interested in me, of course, you all know what happened. I told him to, meet other people. Now, after being paired with him, because I am real, people were like, under 1 week, come on, we all know love at first sight. Even if I wasn't in love, but I really liked the person. So people saying, come on, in 1 week, but that's that. After we got paired up, it took time to heal. I wanted a friend, and I got a friend. Now, fast forwarding, we won, and I'm grateful for those who were solidly behind that. Thank you. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. I do. My moment of truth is that having to live without my son, my second son, because I have 2 sons. Having to live without my son for 6 months tore me apart. And in this era of COVID-19. Now, I'm here to tell everybody I am not a killer. And I will never be one. Yes, we came out of the house, we won. Thanks to, like I said, thanks to people behind that and for the grace of God. Yes, we actually were looking for a drug, that's the truth, because my period was delayed for 4 days. On the day we won, I was on my period. But my period stopped on the 31st. And came back on the 5th of April. Now, when we started looking for the drug, it was towards the ending of April. But I have proofs on my phone. And the person in question is not even a pharmacist, he's a doctor. Telling him that I didn't need a drug anymore because my period came on the 5th of May. And subsequently, like that. It even even got to a point that he asked me that this one that you've not gotten pregnant, are you sure we don't need to check you? And I said, how dare he? I have 2 sons. I'm not barren. Pressure were coming from left, right, and center that I needed to get pregnant to show commitment. And I said, no, I would not do that. Now, when we left the hotel, went to Abuja. From Abuja, we parted ways. We saw once in a while. I went to Kaduna to see my parents because I had not seen them in a while. Coming back, and he met my parents. But he didn't state his intentions at that time, the first time we met. That's the first time he came to see my parents. But already, Jeremy had already started calling him daddy because he was groomed to do so before we even left the house. Now I'm being called an abortionist, a murderer. I'm a mother of 2 lovely boys. Hearing people call me that breaks me. When I saw the interview, I cried. For a whole night I didn't sleep because I kept wondering, where did I go wrong? Is it a crime to fall in love? Is it a crime to love a man and be there for him and stand by him, and yet he says this about me? I am really bewildered by all this, and I don't know what I've done to deserve all this. This has tarnished my image far and wide as a mother, as a daughter. All I ever did was to love him and respect him. Now, I have seen on the media, before I even went off media, people saying so many things about me. From the time saying I love money. I'm not materialistic. I'm not. Now, he spoke about food poisoning. Yes, I did have food poisoning. And he took me to the hospital himself. I had scanning, I was checked, and I was in pain because I was crying. I was admitted, and I was administered too. He didn't sleep with me in the hospital. He came the following morning, and I was discharged. Now, I wasn't pregnant. People keep saying that I had an accident and I lost the pregnancy. No, I did not. While I had the accident, I had already lost the baby. Now, this is my truth. I have been quiet all this while. The only thing I know that is out there was a leaked chat from a fan, and that was a discussion between me and a fan who leaked out our chats, and people think those chats came from me. I'm not petty like that. Aside that, I did a video that was wrong, and I'm sorry to everyone that I've hurt with that video. I'm truly sorry. But I was already emotionally broken at that point because of what I'm going through. I told myself I was not going to cry, but so in September, I traveled to Lagos, and I traveled to Lagos because I needed to sign a skincare brand, which all of you know. Before I left, my mom was like, "Your breast is full, your face is full, you look pregnant." So I took a test, but I didn't wait for the results. I traveled, and I told him about it when I got there. I remember we went live during that period where we answered questions from Prof Nation. Now, when I got back, I found out I was pregnant, but I didn't tell him because I wanted to surprise him on his birthday. Now, my mom had her operation. 2 days after her operation, that was on Thursday she had her operation. So Saturday we took it. When he came, because I was so excited, I told him about the pregnancy. He didn't seem excited, and I was like, "You don't look excited." He was like, "No, he's shocked, he's just surprised." So during the period that he was in Kaduna, we had an argument. Now, people said, "How dare me tell an Igbo man to go and help my father in the kitchen?" I'm not going to debunk that. And I don't know how else to say it, but throughout the period that Kachi was in our house in Kaduna, my dad will wake up very early in the morning, prepare my mom's breakfast, and drive all the way to Zaria every day. When we decided to go with him, on those days that we went with him, my dad was driving. And he kept doing this because his shoulder was hurting. Never for once did he volunteer to say, "Daddy, let me drive." Now, on that fateful night, we got back from Zaria quite early because we needed to make soup for my mom. My dad drove from Zaria to the hospital, to the market. We walked around the market, bought a few things, got home. And that was where our problem started in September. I found out that Jeremy had not had his bath, so I decided prepping to cook. So I told my dad, I need to feed Jeremy. So My dad was like, okay. So I went to big Jeremy and Kachi was on his phone. So I said, please can you help my dad in the kitchen? And he said, I insulted him. He feels insulted. What is my brother doing? Why can't I call my brother when I come home? Now I left him alone. I cooked, I brought the food. I didn't give him, of course, I was angry, so I didn't give him in the normal way. Now, he said he would never eat food again in my house. That because I served him in anger. I didn't sleep on the bed with him, of course. Now, the following day was the shocking day of my life. I woke up. My dad, of course, had gone to Zaria that morning, as usual, very early. By 7, my dad had left. I woke up, I folded the bed I was lying down on. I went to the other room the guest room to drop the pillows that I slept on. And I came back to the room. Later, Kachi came to the room and I saw him dressing up. So I stood up, I went to lock the door. Because I don't know where he's going to, I don't know where he knows I could do now. So I locked the door. And because I wanted to talk to him. He turned, he realized that the door was locked. He told me to open the door, I refused. And then we started struggling. He was trying to get the key out of me. I held the key very tight. And I was pregnant, of course, during that time, and I already told him. Kachi took my hand and hit my hand 3 times beside the dressing table. And I screamed. When I screamed, my brother came with Jeremy and they were banging the door. My hands started trembling. You could see the scar from the heat. My hands started trembling. I held my lower tummy and I couldn't open the door, so I threw the key under the door and I said, please open the door. Well, they couldn't open the door. So my brother ran outside to get help and 2 men came and then they broke the door open. And they were asking what happened. I was holding my hands, I was crying bitterly. I went outside. They took me outside. My brother called my dad. Said he feels it's a spiritual attack. Because I didn't say anything. Now, to everybody out there, the day this thing happened was when Kachi did a video on Twitter showing him and Jeremy playing. And I was in pain with my hand. My dad called him and asked him what happened, and Kachi said, all is well. Now, what led to my miscarriage was on Jeremy's birthday. Went for a photo shoot, did a little thing for him. Now, I was not on social media for a long time. I was saving my battery, so I put off, my data, and then our manager then called and said, was everything okay with you and Kachi? I said yes. Have you spoken to David? I said yes, and he even spoke to Jeremy that morning to wish me a happy birthday on WhatsApp video because he called in the video. So he said Kachi posted something, and I was like, what was that? So he said, you've not seen? I said no. So he said, okay, I should go and see while he's on the call. So I went to Instagram, I went to his page, and I saw what he put there. So I said, let me call you back, because I didn't know what was going on. Although yes, he had told me he was going to use social media, but he didn't tell me when. And I was all confused because on Jeremy's birthday, why would you do that on a boy you said you love? Why would you do that on his birthday? So I called him, his phone was switched off. I called him several times, his phone was switched off. I called the manager back and I remember I was wearing the cappuccino hoodie dress because I just finished taking the shot of that cappuccino hoodie dress, and I was on heels and I started bleeding. I walked towards the car. I called the makeup artist to give me pad. Guys, like I'm starting my period. So she gave me, I went to the toilet. I went to put it there. I drove. We got home late. I drove that night, we got home late. My dad was upset because we got home late. And we still came live. I still endured, came live because I needed Jeremy to thank our family. Now, the following day was the worst day of my life. I was bleeding. I called Kachi on a video call and I told him I was bleeding. I was lying down on a Macintosh and I said, "You're finished me, you've killed me." He kept saying sorry. So at some point I dropped the phone because the bleeding was really much. So I went to pour the blood in the toilet and he thought I had fainted, so he called my mom. And I came back, I saw he had cut the call because I left the call on. The video call was still on when I left. So I kept calling him. I noticed that he was on another call. So I told him that I'm calling, your phone is busy. He said he's speaking to my mom. I said, why? That he thought I fainted on him. He got scared, so he was calling my mom. This is someone that just had an operation, for crying out loud, and she's hypertensive. There are events that happen after her operation. We never told her because of her condition, and now you want to call my mom. I remember that I didn't come out of the room throughout that day. I didn't even eat. My dad was upset with me that I didn't come to help him. Jeremy came during our call and he kept saying, "Mommy, what is this?" I said, "It's nothing." And I was in pain, like I was pushing. Stuffs were coming out like thick, like and that's how I had a miscarriage. Still. And this was on the 18th and 19th of September. And yes, I had twins. Now, you would say why I didn't tell him when I found out. Why did I need to call him? And that was because I wanted to surprise him on his birthday. I wanted to make it special. I remember we went live when he was in Kaduna, and he told Rock Nation that I gave him 2 birthday surprises, and his 2 birthday surprises came early. Well, that was it. The other one, of course, maybe he might tell me later, but I don't think it's really coming. Now, the reason why I'm coming here is not to answer him, and it's not a response. Please, this is my moment of truth, and I am not here to defend myself, but I'm here to only emphasize the fact and say the truth that I am not a mother. Please, I never aborted any child. I had a miscarriage a day after my son's birthday. And I am not here to throw anyone in the bad light, but what he has done to me destroying me as a woman, as a mother. More than that, taking food out of my hand that would feed my son. It's unimaginable. Several times he has said he didn't want, us to be together. Several times he has tried to postpone the wedding. But what I would take, one, is violence. Two, tarnishing and slandering my name publicly. It's a no from me, and I would not have it as a mother and as a woman. There are several things, several stories out there, but this is me bearing my heart and coming to tell you all the truth and nothing but the truth. To everyone I've offended with my character, with my rudeness, please, this journey, this part of my life has broken me with folded arms. I am truly sorry for everyone I've disrespected, but I'm really broken. I am really I'm really broken that one day my children will grow up to see a video of a man I trusted with my body, with my heart, with my love, to damage me and destroy me like this. I'm sorry, but I'm really broken. I'm really, really broken. And this is my moment. How true.